The member for Morialta.
Thank you, sir. I met Martin Cameron in late 1996. I was a newly joined member of the Young Liberal movement, and Martin Cameron was the president of the Liberal Party. He was sitting at the chair of the State Council, 260 odd strong as it was then, and at that time, of course, the Liberal Party's membership would have been 8,000, and the breadth of strongly held views in the Liberal Party at that time was, as it is now, a matter of record. And Martin was somebody that united people from those different views. I think anybody who's reflecting, some people may not know the name Martin Cameron and would have been hearing of some of these achievements over the last 20 minutes or so, would reflect on the fact that somebody who had the support of Ren de Garis and Steele Hall for his various aspects of his parliamentary career, it's a notable achievement. We joined in the gallery today by the Honourable Dean Brown and the Honourable Michael Wilson, titanic figures of South Australian politics. Michael Wilson, the Transport Minister who brought the Oban to South Australia, Dean Brown's achievements, many as Premier Minister for Public Works in the Tonkin government. I highlight the biggest election victory in South Australia's history. But the other key point as a former Education Minister I'll make briefly, I apologise for the digression about Dean Brown, the Public Works Minister who ended the DMAC program and thereby ushered in a wave of improved school building programs in South Australia that we've been very grateful for the last 45 years. They were part of a government and a time that Martin Cameron was part of as well. A time during the 1970s where there were substantial philosophical questions facing the future of the Liberal Party. And Martin Cameron chose in favour of principle and the community and the state's long-term interests rather than short-term political gain. A man of deep principle. And also a man of reconciliation, someone who was integral to the reunification of the Liberal Party and the Liberal movement, somebody whose role in bringing people together demonstrated that compromise doesn't have to be the enemy of principle. In fact, they can work incredibly well together. And in the 1990s, when I came across Martin, the demonstration of that was the high regard within which he was held as President of the Liberal Party, supported by the whole of the State Council, irrespective of whether the moderate tendency or the conservative tendency at the time were in the majority. I think there was years when he was president where most of his vice presidents would have been from either side of the party. Martin had all of their regard. The President of the Liberal Party, and also, as the member finally said, he was patron of the Young Liberal movement at the time as well, put a significant amount of effort into ensuring that young people had an interest in politics, were given the opportunity to engage in the senior party and have their principles and their energy harnessed to the benefit of the Liberal Party. His service to South Australia was profound and his loss will be felt keenly by his family. Vale, Martin Cameron.
I first met Martin Cameron in 1984 as a young journo on Rupert Murdoch's first newspaper, the Adelaide News, which was just across the road here. I came to Parliament House one day. Randall Ashbourne was the political journo for the Sunday Mail. He introduced me to Martin, and he said, Martin Cameron said, "You're not one of those bignals from Glencoe, are you?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "You're not Trevor's son, are you?" I said, "Yeah, I am." And he goes, "He cost me the 1968 election." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, he always voted Liberal, but I know he voted for Des Corcoran in that 1968 election." I'm thinking, you got the wrong bloke. My dad's never voted Labor in his life. Fast forward, 2001, I go from journalism into politics as a media advisor. I go down to tell Dad that I've joined the Labor Party. And he said, "I've voted Labor before." I'm going, "When did you ever vote Labor? You've been a mad Lib and Country Party person all of my life." And he said, "I voted for Des Corcoran in the 1968 election and the two elections after that." So Martin actually was right, and he knew who cost him that 68 election. But I did get to know Martin quite well. He was not a minister, but he was the leader of the opposition in the upper house, and he did a lot of the campaigning for the Liberal Party. And Randall wasn't much of a friend of the Labor Party, of the Liberal Party, so he used to cover the Labor media conferences when I was at Channel 7, and I'd cover the Liberal ones, and Martin was quite often the front person for the Liberal Party. And terrific fella, always got on very well with him. I did see him and hear him play the bagpipes here, and the leader said that I'd stop that sort of behaviour as Speaker. I'd encourage it. I much prefer it to the banging of desks by school students who come in here and make a bit of a racket. Give me the bagpipes any day. But Martin was a great man, and he was another one of those great southeastern political figures that we were very glad to know. So, Vale, Martin Cameron, and to your friends and family, we wish you well at this difficult time. Could members please rise so that the motion can be carried in the customary manner? The House is suspended until the ringing of the bells.